Hello, I'm Pamela Davis. Welcome to episode 53 of the Well Done Life podcast. And welcome back to episode 53 of the Well Done Life podcast. I'm your host, Pamela Davis. If you are new here, hey, welcome. You are right on time. If you've been here before, thank you for continuing to rock with me. I know I've said it a lot, but I'm going to keep saying it until everybody knows. But the Well Done Life podcast is about building community. It's about women coming together, sharing our stories so that we can learn and grow. That's what made me want to start this podcast, and that's what has me wanting to talk to you tonight, because I am just so excited for us to learn and grow and share together. Before we get started, everybody kind of knows that I'm all about trying to send good, positive vibes, juju into the atmosphere, prayers, because it's real in the streets with COVID-19 and so many other things. So tonight, I would just love to send all of you good juju as we are all going out here, praying vibes that everybody is covered, feeling good. I'm actually recording on Friday night. It's Friday night, February the 5th at 9:32. And actually, I should not forget that day because today is my older brother's birthday. So I love you, Greg. And I hope you're having an amazing day. And I hope that everybody else is having an amazing day too. So, like I said, it's all about good juju. I'm sending it to everybody because we all need a little good vibe right now. And please, no matter what you are doing, please make sure you wash your hands. Please make sure you are social distancing and wearing a mask. I would like to go out in the near future without a mask. I really would. I miss people. I miss traveling. I miss the world. I'm sure you all do. And it's going to take all of us doing our part, making sacrifices so that we can move past this virus and start to live again. Not going back to the way things were, but just move around without a mask, especially before summertime. Because let me tell you, there is nothing worse than wearing a mask and it is 100 degrees outside. It's just not cute. It's not. But anywho, I digress. So, like I said, this week, before I get started, I wanted to send out good jujus. We sent out the good jujus. This week, I really wanted to talk to you guys just about what's been going on. This is my birthday month. This is the first official podcast in February, so I am super excited. Yes, this is it's my birthday month, and I am celebrating all month long this year. So, because, hey... It's that one of those years where I feel like if we've made it this far, we're seeing birthdays, we should celebrate them as many days as humanly possible. So for me, I'm taking all 28 days to celebrate my birthday. And I'm just doing what I feel. That's really what it's about. I normally like to travel during this time. Typically, I will go somewhere on my birthday because it's a moment of opportunity just for me to kind of do something for myself, because I am a caregiver, primarily to my mom and my sister, and between work, just the demands of life. I have found that it is just so important to take time for yourself. So I'll either travel with someone, or I have actually found a love of solo travel as well, because I realize that I'm one of those people that I need a moment. Like I thrive sometimes in solitude, because it's just, I'm so stimulated all the time that I need somebody to just let me be. And I know I can't be the only one who feels that way, especially with so many moms and dads out here who are single parents or grandparents, or even if you're married and have a spouse and you have to take care of a family, there's just a lot of demands on everyone's time. And as women, we carry sometimes, we are the foundations of families. So we carry so much responsibility that it is so easy for us to lose sight of ourselves, taking care of everybody else, that it just gets stressful. So I just normally like to do that. But like I said, I'm not doing that because of COVID, and I don't feel comfortable traveling because my mom. And she told me that if I give her COVID-19 and she passes away, she will haunt me for the rest of my life. And let me tell you, there is nothing worse than mother guilt, especially as they get in their 70s. They know exactly the buttons to push. So Fine, I'll be home. But I hopefully will get a chance to do some really special things for some special people in my life, as well as this is going to be the first anniversary of the podcast, our anniversary, and my birthday are the exact same day. It is February 25th, and I'm very excited about that. So I am looking forward and working behind the scenes, trying to do special things. So if you're not following me on Instagram at Pamela Elle Davis, I would recommend that you check out my IG. I have done free Starbucks, and I'm actually going to repost it because there's still money on the card. So if you see free birthday Starbucks treat for the month, make sure you take advantage of it. I preloaded my card and set it there. So hopefully you guys will enjoy either coffee, tea, cookies, a breakfast sandwich, just something to know that I care and just something to make you smile, because I think we all need moments like that where we can make each other smile. So that's kind of much that in a nutshell. And it probably sounded super fast because I'm kind of listening to myself as I talk. So I apologize if it's not, but really I'll make sure in the show notes I have all my social information just in case you missed that. But that's really not why I got us all together tonight, even though I could probably talk about my birthday forever, because I'm really excited about turning 48. I'm really excited because I am still cute, and I am trying to do everything in my power to preserve all of this moisture, because that's what you do when you get this age. You preserve moisture. You don't let anybody suck it out. And that kind of wraps into what I'm going to talk about today. But I also wanted to make sure that I also give reverence to the fact that February is Black History Month. Not that really Black History is a month. I mean, when you're Black History is 365 days a year. However, it is Black History Month by society standards. So definitely take this opportunity this month, not just necessarily to focus on the entertainment side of Black history, but maybe read a book that will give you more insight into Black history, into Black culture, or have a conversation with someone that you may not necessarily have always had a conversation about. Just aspire to learn something about Black culture this year that goes beyond what you probably see on television or listen to in a rap video. There's a lot of wonderful authors. There's just so many things, the Black history, Black influence in America and the world is unparalleled. There are so many different levels to us. So I always feel, especially with everything going on in our society, as we have so much divisiveness, I think part of the problem is we're not giving each other the opportunity to talk about each other. We're not giving the opportunity to talk about our differences, because I think we would be surprised that maybe some of our differences are not as different as we thought they were if we just had conversation and we learn to look past color or preconceived notions. So I would aspire you to learn something different so that you can move ahead. So that's my Black history rant. And like I said, it's 365 days for me. I am so effortlessly proud of being a Black woman. I am so grateful for the skin that I am in and the experiences that I've had, no matter how challenging, because Black is magical and it is so much more than culture. It is just this feeling, this belonging, this history, this influence that you see over the world, this strength and resilience. It is beauty. Black is beauty. So that leads me into, like I said, I kind of wanted to talk about what was going on. I've told you guys about the birthday. We talked about Black history. I wanted to tell you guys I have finished up my Pathway to Peace journey. And I'm going to put Alexandra Elle's information again in the show notes. I have one more aspect of my journaling intensive. We are actually doing like a Zoom call on Sunday. Right before the Super Bowl. So I know anybody who watches football is probably like, oh my God, they're actually going to do that on Super Bowl Sunday. But yes, I don't watch football, but I am going to participate in this Zoom call that we're going to have so that we can regroup one final time and just kind of talk through our final lessons and our learnings. This was amazing. And this is not promoted. I'm not getting like any special hookup to talk about it. I'm talking about it because it was like the perfect reset for me, because I was feeling overwhelmed. I think I kind of was saying to myself that I might have quarantine cabin fever again. And I kind of felt that way last year in March. And if you don't know what it is, it's just like you feel like the walls are trapping in. Like I said, I don't really interact with a lot of different people. I keep very good tabs, or try to keep tabs on my movements, because of the fact that I do have a senior in my home who is immunocompromised, and I don't want to do anything to hurt her, but at the same time, I don't want to hurt myself. So I really do make sure that I try to limit the interactions that I have with people or the places I go. So it's overwhelming because I miss my freedoms. I miss being able to get cute and go to work, or go out to dinner with friends, or go have a drink, or go to the gym. I wound up having to give up my Pilates membership, which I loved, because I'm not going to lay on a Pilates machine next to somebody who's less than 6 feet away from me. It's not going to happen. I'm just not ready for that yet. And I don't begrudge anyone if I'm triggering anybody. I don't begrudge you for making those decisions to go inside gyms or do whatever you have to do for your peace, because I understand. Believe me, quarantine cabin fever is real, and trying to preserve your peace is so important. But for me, all of those things were missing. So when January came around this year, I was like, I don't want to live like a hermit like I did last year. Even though we are still in the same circumstances, I have to find a way to tap more into myself. And so that's what led me to making the decision this year that, like I said, I was going to take care of me. I was going to do the things that I needed to do to feed my soul, to keep my mind productive and interesting while I'm in this season. So I happened to be scrolling, and I found Alexandra Elle's post about taking the Pathway to Peace course with her. I had followed her before anyway, because she's very inspirational and she keeps things very simple, but her words are profound because they really start to tap into who you are as a person and your foundation. And we covered a lot about that during the Pathway to Peace. With it being a journaling intensive, it was really focused on tapping into our inner child. And like I said, I'm about to turn 48. So my inner child, it's been a long time since we talked. I think I do still have a youthful side to me because of just my mindset. I am a big kid at heart, and I pride myself on that, because I don't really think you should ever really have to grow up. You should still stay curious and still stay open to new things like children, because that's how you keep learning. That's how you keep growing. And I always feel like I have to grow and continue to evolve, because that's what I was intended to do. That's what God put me here to do. I am that reflection of Him in that way. I'm supposed to evolve and grow, because when I stop evolving and growing, that means my assignment is done, and I am far from my assignment being finished. So it's a great way of tapping back into the inner child. And I'm definitely not going to tell you all the stuff, but I can tell you during this intensive, I bought two coloring books and a big stack of colored pencils, and I have had fun coloring, but at the same time I've had fun journaling and talking about the things that I carried from my childhood that I think weighed my inner child down, that weighed me down. And having conversation as I'm writing out with myself and connecting with my inner child and my inner spirit, to ask myself, have I forgiven myself for the mistakes that I made when I was younger, or for some of the experiences that I had as a child? I mean, I grew up, and I've always been pretty transparent about it. I had great parents. I have a great mother. I had a great father. I feel very blessed that I grew up in a two-parent household with people who loved me and put their energy and time into me and believed in me. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that bad things still didn't happen. That doesn't mean that I didn't experience things that I have held on to and never shared, not even with them, because you don't want to have disappointments, or you're embarrassed, or you're afraid, all those things and those regrets that we carry from certain things that happened to us when we were younger. I didn't really think about it like I was still carrying it, because I have, through therapy and many other situations, had an opportunity to talk about my past trauma. But I never really, if I think about it, had an opportunity to talk about it in a terms of letting go, regret. And did it turn into regret? Because I think that that's what happens. You know, as adults, we tend to move past our traumas, we gloss over them, we put them in boxes or whatever so that we can move forward, so that we can keep going. Many of us do. And some of us don't. And unfortunately, when you don't, they can consume you. But even when you put them in box and you compartmentalize your pain like I do, it doesn't mean that that trauma is still not weighing you down, because there's only so many boxes and compartmentalizations that you can carry before it starts to overwhelm you. So this Pathway to Peace course kind of gives you a blueprint to really map things out. I mean, it literally, in one exercise, I remember drawing a grid and actually mapping out the regrets and, giving me a pathway to move past it, to forgive myself, to heal, to talk to my younger self and have an open dialogue. And it might sound a little crazy to some, but it's one of those things that I think we all should do, because again, you can only compartmentalize pain so much before the boxes start to overwhelm you. And as you mature, you will find that you will wind up in points in your life looking at things, thinking of regrets and feelings, because we all do it, but due to the fact that we may not be at a certain level that we think we should be, or you see other people doing things and you wonder why you're not doing that. So it can cause you to have regrets because you think about some of the decisions that you made that led you off path, or off the path that you thought your life was going to go. And you have to forgive yourself for those moments. So it's a lot of really deep work. And like I said, I would recommend the course to anyone, but I wouldn't recommend it to someone if you're not willing to do the work. So I would definitely say it's one of those that you have to be honest about yourself, honest to yourself about, hey, am I really at this point? But if you are, it's so rewarding. And I really feel so light now that I've done it, and I'm just glad. But even with that lightness, I have now taken on this habit of journaling, and I'm really excited about it, because now I'm starting to set a routine for myself where every day I journal, and it's become a very important part of my nighttime decompression. And I recommend that, even looking into journaling, writing down your thoughts. And like I said, I'm not that person. I mean, I type up everything and I still battle with it. I typed up my show notes for today on my computer. It's got it up right in front of me. I'm not going to be the person to sit down and write a long dissertation of notes. It's just not my bag. But at the same time, I am dedicated to writing in my journal, because I feel like that gives me peace. And that peace is just so valuable. So kind of goes along with Pathway to Peace, finding your peace, and all in a journal. But it is, again, it's a great course. And like I said, I will share her information, and I would recommend it to anyone. And if you have more questions about it, because I don't want to give it all away. There's just some great exercises and some wonderful interactions. You're very supported. It's not just you on your own trying to figure it out. I love the way that she has it structured, where you can interact with other people and connect. It is very nice. And I have to admit, if I were to say that's one regret, I wish I had had more time to interact with the people like I did here and there. But between work and life, and just trying to get through things, it was very difficult for me to find time to interact on a social platform like that. But it wasn't anything because I felt like the content wasn't valuable or the interactions. It's just my introvert side getting in the way, and the fact that I just am overstimulated all the time. So it can be challenging. But again, it still was a wonderful course. And I'm saying all that rambly moment to say, if you don't do anything this year, I want you to invest in yourself. I want you to find either a course or a book or something that just taps and speaks into your soul to invest in you. Because, like I said, there's so many different things that are being thrown at us between life and just society. And you have to carve time out for yourself. You have to do the work. You have to keep evolving. You have to keep tapping into what gives you peace and your happiness. Because if you're not happy, no one in your life will be happy. It really is that real. If you're not happy, no one in your life will be happy because they're going to see that in you and it's going to radiate off of you. It's an anger, it's a rage, it's an uncomfortableness, and it's not going to serve you. Stop doing things that don't serve you. Or better yet, stop entertaining shit that does not serve you. We already do that in many instances just to get along with life. Stop doing it in situations that you can control. And that's not just a word for you, that's a word for me as well. Because that's the thing. It's like you can take these courses and they're great and you should definitely invest in them. But just understand it's a lifelong process. Like school is always in session when it comes to trying to find peace and balance. There's no one way cookie cutter situation to this. That's one of the reasons why I talk about my experiences because hey, I'm almost 48 years in. As you can see, I'm just starting to really get to a point where I understand who I am as a person, as a woman. So believe me, many other people are on that journey with you, and none of us all have the answers. That's the great part about it, because then we can come together and share our stories and help each other grow. So I definitely, like I said, would encourage you. And as I come across other courses, I definitely will share them with you. But I wanted to share Alexandra's, because it's such a great course. I was so pleasantly surprised. And I'm actually even already kind of mini stalking, looking for other journaling intensives that she might do or courses, because I think it's important for me when I'm on this journey. I need a little bit more structure. And I do. Like, I feel like this was my intro. And it's definitely got me on the roll. And I'll keep going and keep going. But for a while, because I'm very passionate about it. But I also know that sometimes I'm very easily distracted with life. So I don't want that to be taking an intensive here and there. It allows me to just reset myself. I always am one of those people that needs a reset sometimes so that I can stay connected and in tune and not be left up to my own devices. Because, hey, if I'm left up to my own devices, I would probably be asleep right now instead of sitting here talking to you. But I'm connected. I'm motivated. I love talking to you guys and sharing. So this is a passion for me. Same with writing in the journal. It's starting to become a passion. So I want to keep feeding that passion. Feed your passions, because when you feed your passions, you will be so surprised about the great things that can occur. And again, I like to always preface, it doesn't have to cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. Alexandra's course was very affordable. I believe it was under $60. So look for those things. You just vet them out. Because everybody can't speak into everybody. It's the truth. You just got discernment, though. That's what you have it for. You know what's right, what's wrong. Just be smart about it. But ultimately, do something that's going to feed into you. And use your logic when making those decisions on who you allow to feed into yourself. So, like I said, I wanted to kind of talk about that. I did another thing, too. And I was going to talk about it today, and I probably will talk about it a little bit. Part of my reset moment was I had a call with a medium. I wanted to do a reading. I hadn't had a reading in a long time, and I had felt compelled. I normally am one of those kind of people where I like to, if the spirit moves me, I'm willing to go with it. So she and I had a really cool call. And I'm actually thinking of trying to get her on the podcast because I think it would be a great conversation. And it was really cool because it wasn't like she told me any miraculous things. She told me a few things that I definitely was surprised by, but a lot of it, she was nice, but she read me to filth because she totally pegged me 185%. I was like, yeah. And it's not perfect, but that's what I think a good reading is about. I always think that sometimes, people are always going into something expecting to hear the moon, the stars, the flowers, and everything wonderful. The experiences that I've had where I have gone to have a reading from a medium, they have typically told me great things, but then they've also told me where I have room to grow as a person. And I respect that more because I'm not perfect. I know I'm not. So I want you to call me out on my BS so that way I know it's real. Because if you're just fluffing me, I'm going to be like, I don't know, sis. So I probably am going to delve more into it. Like I said, I am really thinking about it. And this weekend, I will reach out to her to see if we can talk about it because it was a really interesting call. She is, she's really very easy to talk to. It was more like talking to a really good friend. And I was so all over the map. It wasn't like I was going to ask for one specific thing because it kind of was in conjunction with my pathway to peace. I just kind of felt that I needed to reset myself and get my spirit together. And obviously, I'm a very prayerful person. I make no bones about I love God. Yes, I believe in Jesus. I do believe that, Jesus died on the cross and rose on the third day, just in case anyone was worried. But at the same time, I also do believe in numbers and signs and wonders and orishas, and because religion is a vast culture of many, many different things. And it doesn't have to be demonation. It's about divinity. So she is a disciple of the 12 divisions, and I'm reading a book about the 12 divisions now. So it was something that I was very comfortable reading and understanding. Yes, I do wash my house. I do sage. I do wear oil. Yes, I do, because I believe all of those things are a part of God's kingdom. God has many warriors. So I am one of those open-minded kind of souls. And it was, like I said, it was a good reset call. But it wasn't like, I'm just trying to, girl, am I good at this husband? I mean, I was curious about my love life just because I feel like some things are coming because I think I'm in a different phase now. But we also talked just about life in general. And she gave me a couple of words for some areas of my life that I am working through, trying to balance out, So I think that is definitely someone that I will bring on, probably. Hopefully she'll say yes and come and grace us with her presence and kind of talk about, the meanings of going into different cards. Maybe we could do like a reading. We can talk through, because I think there's a lot of curiosity behind having spiritual readings. And just for full transparency, that was my third reading ever in my lifetime. I had two previously before, but the medium who read me, the psychic, she passed away, I believe, a few years back. So this was going to this young lady was totally different. It was a experience, but it definitely was rooted in God and in love. So just again, something to think about. I think that everybody has to tap into who they are and be in tune all around. So we probably will talk about that more on the podcast. And like I said, yes, I will definitely try to bring her around. But that's it. That's where I'm at right now. I think I've caught you guys up on the cycle and hopefully given you guys some things to think about on the pathway to peace and trying to find a journey or an intensive to help you get rooted. Because I think that this year, with everything and as we're growing and getting older, it's just so important to have an opportunity to get rooted. So I definitely hope that you will take advantage and find opportunity in courses. I will share more information with you. of courses that I come around and great people to research and connect with. And if you come across any, please share them as well, because I think that that's what, again, that's what the World on Life is about. It's about community and all of us sharing our stories and experiences so we can grow together. So I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. I hope you have an amazing Sunday. If you're watching the football, I hope the Super Bowl, excuse me. I hope you enjoy the Super Bowl and have a great Sunday with your family, your friends, or just yourself, chilling out, relaxing your mind because you deserve it. Let's have a wonderful week, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.